Is Noblesville, Indiana affordable? Is it a place for first-time home buyers? In today's videos, we're going to explore 4 different neighborhoods so you don't have to.
Welcome to the Discovering Central Indiana YouTube channel. I'm Eric with the Pels Realty Group, and if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Central Indiana and the Central Indiana market, go ahead and subscribe below. My business partner Julie and I, we get calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move to Central Indiana. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call. So how affordable is Noblesville, Indiana? Well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to go through 4 different neighborhoods in different price ranges. But before we show you these 4 neighborhoods, let's talk about Noblesville just briefly. It is A+ rated according to niche.com. It's got a ton of things and amenities to do, great for families and their schools. So everyone is coming to Noblesville, Westfield, Carmel, Fishers in Hamilton County. But in terms of pricing, how does Noblesville compare to the other cities in Hamilton County? Since Hamilton County is one of the highest rated counties in all of Central Indiana, people want to be here. But again, with price being a big issue in general when it comes to housing, what is considered affordable here in Noblesville? So the median price as of right now here in April is going to be $399,900. So basically, let's round up $100 and say $400,000 is the median price. Can we actually find homes that are under that median price? Because for a lot of people, $400,000 could be out of their price range that might not be attainable, especially for first-time home buyers. So now let's go ahead and take a look at these 4 different neighborhoods and the 4 different prices. So first stop on our list is going to be Pine Knolls. Pine Knolls is located right off Little Chicago Road, right down the street from Moore's Reservoir. So that's definitely a perk right there. You're very close to Moore's Reservoir, highly sought after area with beautiful homes. You're gonna be about 5 miles away from downtown Noblesville. You have tons of amenities there. And actually, the home that we wanna highlight is actually right here, right behind me. So it was built in 1995, 3 beds, 1.5 baths. It's got 1,264 square feet, and it is listed for $300,000 now. It does also have a 3-car garage, which I think is really nice. So in this neighborhood, you're gonna have a majority of 2-car garages. Some are gonna be 3 cars. Walking through and looking at these homes, the majority of them are going to be like masonry at the very, very bottom, like this right here. Then you're gonna have vinyl plank siding at the top, or I should say vinyl siding at the top and throughout the rest of the house. It's definitely a nice neighborhood. So one thing I will note is when we first drive into Pine Knolls, the area isn't, I guess, as nice as this section right here. One thing to think about with more affordable neighborhoods is the amount of rentals, and does it have an HOA? What is the rental cap and how many rentals are in the neighborhood? Because when you have more rentals in a neighborhood, there is a potential for those renters to not necessarily take care of the home and the yards as well. So that's something to definitely note. That is one downside, potential for more affordable neighborhoods, because these companies can come in and buy up these affordable homes more so than they can with the more expensive homes, like, let's just say $500,000 on up. So just something to think about. But walking through, especially like this section, it's nice, nice manicured lawns, decently sized streets. You got, nice sidewalks you can walk on with the dog, a family, all of that kind of stuff. And it's spring right now, so everything is blooming and blossoming, and it's not all gray and depressing like it is in winter. So that's definitely nice. So when talking about pricing within this neighborhood, it's going to be in the high 2s to low 3s. So definitely the most affordable on our list of different neighborhoods. This neighborhood was built in the 90s, and you can kind of tell that to an extent. 90s neighborhoods just had that cookie cutter look to them, and these homes are pretty cookie cutter. And this section right here, it's just a majority of ranches. You do have a combination of 2-story and ranches, but this section is just mainly ranches. But this does have a nice feel to it. It's nice and quiet, because what time? So 4:25 on a Monday, and pretty quiet. I hear some leaf blowers going, backpack blowers for landscaping. Perfect time to do that. It's not raining. We've had a pretty rainy spring so far. Today's the perfect day to mow your lawn, but generally a good feel for the neighborhood. But generally speaking, this neighborhood does feel good. You know, it's on the more affordable end of things, again, with it being in the the high twos to the low threes. So it's going to be easier to get into this community just because of the price. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, their first homes are going to be like a ranch or a cheaper 2-story home. So, you know, build equity in that, and then you can from there hopefully move up. Neighborhood number 2 is going to be Mill Grove. So Mill Grove is located off of Little Chicago Road and 38th Street. You're not terribly far from Westfield, and we're not far off from the last neighborhood as well, Pine Knolls. Walking through the neighborhood, it's a very massive community. You have a lot going on for it. The house we're going to be looking at is this one right here, built in 2001. It's got 3 beds, 2.5 baths, just a little under 2,000 square feet, 1,980 square feet, and it is priced at $345,000. And when we talk about price in this community, it's a pretty big community, so you have different sections, but generally speaking, you're going to be in the mid 3s to the mid 4s. Certain sections are going to be a little nicer, maybe a little better upkept than other sections. This section is pretty decent, honestly. Generally speaking, nice manicured yards. You've got walking or your sidewalks, decent roads, no potholes or anything like that, because that's a massive thing here in Indiana is the potholes. Such a pain in the butt, honestly. But anyway, the other nice thing with this community is you are also like just down the street from State Road 32, so you have the brand new Meijer and you have other shopping in off of State Road 32, so you got that going for you as well. This community also has some trails too. You're gonna have a combination of 2-story and ranch homes here in the community. In different sections, you're gonna have more 2 stories than ranches. Honestly, you're gonna have, just generally speaking, more 2-story homes than you are with ranches, since 2 stories are more popular for a lot of people, especially with more affordable areas. You know, people who want to have kids, starting their families, you'll want a 2-story for sure. When it comes to the style of the homes, they're pretty cookie cutter. Honestly, that's what you would expect for, you know, homes that were built in the 90s to the 2000s. Very common. You have a combination of masonry at the first level and then vinyl siding at the second level. Most of these homes are going to have that combination. Different color brick, which is nice. You know, you're going to have red brick. You're going to have almost like a grayish brick that looks like stone, but it's still brick. Decent sized backyards. Some are going to have bigger backyards than others. It looks like the 2 stories have bigger backyards, honestly. So great for, you know, just hanging out, letting the dog run loose, or kids, or whatever. Heck, if you want to run loose in your backyard, you know, that's great too. But, you know, very cookie cutter homes, but that's what you would expect in the 90s to early 2000s neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood. The yards are manicured and well kept. So people definitely take pride in their homes, their yards. So that's definitely a good thing. And it helps with home values too. The third stop on our list is going to be Brighton Knolls. And actually, my business partner, Julie, and I are familiar with this neighborhood because we recently had a client who bought in this community, and it's a very nice community. This community was built in the early 2010s, so relatively new. Brighton Knolls is located right off of Howe and 146, and there is some development going on off of 146 and Howe, especially they're going to build a brand new Kroger. So they're not currently building it right now, but the land is being developed for that Kroger. It's 5 minutes away, so that's a really nice thing. Hop over to Kroger, be there and back in about 20 minutes, give or take, depending on how much time you spend there, obviously, but it's going to be nice. They're also going to be developing a new Lennar community in this general area off of 146 and Howe as well. So there's some development going on for sure. And so since this is a relatively new community, it's different than like a 90s neighborhood. It looks different. You know, very common themes still, but you're gonna have a better combination of masonry siding and then some vinyl plank siding as well. Whereas like this house right here, you got some nice masonry and then vinyl siding on the top of it. And when we're talking about pricing here in this neighborhood, we're gonna be anywhere from the mid 3s to mid to high 4s. It's a little more expensive, but at the same time, it is a nice community. You have some nice trees, got sidewalks everywhere. There is actually a pool that you can swim at in this community as well. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. It's a friendly community, a lot of families in this community. Kids playing out on the weekends is what we saw when we were showing the house, and going through inspections and all that. And when we talk about different amenities within this general area, you're going to be really close to Hamilton Town Center. You're going to be close to 37 and that shopping and the Costco and all that stuff. So that's also really nice. It's in a really prime location. You're also going to be closer to Highway 69 as well, and 146. You can kind of go anywhere you need because you can get to Keystone, you can get to 31 and all of those different places from 146th. And in this community, you're gonna have a combination of ranches and two-story, but you're gonna have a majority of two-story homes. That's the predominant theme here, but it's also, that's what a lot of people want, is two stories, what a lot of families want, because this can be considered first-time home buyer, but it can also be considered like a step up from that as well, depending on your budget. But because it's in the mid 3s to mid 4s, we wanted to cover it, and our clients are first-time home buyers as well. And a lot of these two-story homes are going to be a little over 2,000 square feet. The home that our clients purchased, that square footage was around 2,300 square feet, so a pretty good size. So you definitely have some room to expand, especially if you're wanting a family or starting out with some small kids. The last neighborhood we're looking at today is going to be Waterman Farms here in Noblesville. So Waterman Farms is located off of Greenfield Avenue and Main Chapel Road. We're not far, actually we're honestly just right down the street from Brighton, was the last neighborhood. So this neighborhood has, is really close to amenities like Hamilton Town Center, really close to the Costco off of 37 and all that 37 shopping as well. So not far, just a few miles. So that's really nice just because, you need to hop over to Costco or a store, or you want to go out to eat and go to a restaurant. You are really close to all that. So the house we're featuring in this neighborhood is the one right there with the masonry at the sides. So it was built in 2001. It's got 4 beds and 2.5 bathrooms with 1,892 square feet, and it's priced at $329,000, which honestly is not a bad price for this neighborhood. And when we talk about price for this neighborhood, we're looking at the mid to high 2s and then all the way to the high 3s. Some of these homes are going to be in the 4s, but honestly, a pretty good price for this neighborhood in general. You do have a combination of 2 stories and ranches. Most of these homes are going to have a 2-car garage, but there are a few here and there that have 3-car garages, which is really nice. Honestly, having that 3rd-car garage for storage, or a 3rd car, or basically whatever you need. It's a little windy today, so you can definitely hear the the wind, but the neighborhood is nice. It's quiet. It's around 2:30 on a Monday, but it is nice. A lot of the homes are very similar because it's a 90s neighborhood. You're going to have a combination of vinyl siding and masonry on the front portion, kind of like the house right there that's actually for sale. You got masonry on either side of the garage, and then masonry on the front part between the door, or on either side of the door. Then you have vinyl siding all the way up. And then some of these homes are also going to have just all vinyl siding, just like this blue home here as well. But definitely a very nice neighborhood. Again, I'm pleasantly surprised because sometimes with neighborhoods in a lower price range, they're not as well kept. But this neighborhood is absolutely well kept, very nice. I will also say that almost every home has a tree in the front yard, which is nice because it does add to some nice shade. It makes it look uniform. The trees are a little more mature here. The downside is it looks like a lot of these are, I believe, Bradford pear trees. I could be wrong, but Bradford pears aren't the sturdiest tree. That I've had issues with those in the past during the winter, them just falling down. But having trees in the front yard just makes it feel really nice. You have that nice shade in your yard. And it's a nice uniform look for the entire neighborhood. So those were the 4 different neighborhoods within some varying price points. Most of those price points were pretty consistent between, you have some between, mid 2s to mid 3s, and then you had some mid 3s all the way up to mid 4s. And it just depends on what you can afford and how much work you're actually willing to put in a house. Because even if you can find something for high 2s to low 3s, there's a good potential that you might have to put some work into it, and you just have to stop and think, are you willing to do that? Am I willing to put the time in myself, or am I willing to pay someone? Because home renovations can absolutely cost a lot of money depending on what it is. And we have Julie here with her friend the Buffalo here at Federal Hill Commons. When it comes to the real estate market here in Noblesville, as of right now, end of April when we're filming this, there is 110 homes on the market right now. That's not considering new construction, or that's not including new construction. So that's not a lot of homes at all. That's more inventory than a lot of other cities like Carmel, but still not a lot of inventory and not a lot of choice when you're looking for a home. Now, that's not to say you can't find anything. That's not to discourage you whatsoever. It's just sometimes you have to bide your time and be on the lookout and know what you want. And then when it's time, you pounce. And if you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call.